So my current husband now has to have 2 more surgeries on his eye before he's completely done. I would love nothing more than to be able to work. But since the current state that I am in Florida, I can't get any financial assistance through the state, which I hate, but in times like this, I could really use it. I normally do not like asking anybody for help. I really, truly don't. It pains me to have to ask for help. I am 33 years old. I've got 5 kids. I have always provided for my children. Always. So this is all very, very new to me. I mean, have I struggled? Yes, absolutely. Were there times that we lived beyond our means? Yes. Because every now and again, I would do something nice for my now husband and our kids. Whether it be a family outing or a family dinner, like going out to dinner or taking them to a go-kart track or, little things like that. But it really, really kills me to have to ask for help. Sorry, I got a tickle in my throat that just will not go away. But my first husband and I had divorced because it was very abusive. Because I know a lot of you are going to be like, well, why'd you divorce? It was very toxic, and it was very verbally, mentally, and emotionally abusive. I held out in my first marriage for 8 years. In total, between me and my first husband, we were together for 13 years. And I did everything that I could to try and make that marriage work, if that makes sense. At some points, or towards the end of it, I should say, the very end of it, I had started just staying and sticking with the marriage for my kids' sakes. Now, because of my first husband's medical, that was very alarming, and the courts refused to even look at. I had still chosen to allow the man to be around my children. I won't say what was in his medical records. I won't even say his name. But my current husband now, my second husband, whom I love dearly, even though I could wring his neck at times. He wanted him to think like an actual father. My first husband did not know, and still doesn't know, how to think like a dad. And with my 3 older children, with my first husband, they're suffering mentally and emotionally. They may not be suffering financially, but mentally and emotionally is 10 times worse than physical abuse. I don't care what anybody says. I was abused at 16. I was raped, the whole 9 yards. So, bruises and scars, those heal. emotionally and mentally never heals. And now that my first husband has my 13-year-old, my 9-year-old, and my 4-year-old, my 13 and 9-year-old are both suffering mentally and emotionally. And it's to the point that when they go over to my mother's house, which is the only time I get to speak to my 4-year-old and my 9-year-old, they are on the phone with me via FaceTime, bawling their eyes out. Mama, I don't want to go. Mommy, please don't make me go. Don't make me go back to Dad's. Don't make me go back to Dad's. I don't want to go. Please. So there's obviously something that's really going on to make my children that terrified to go back to their dad. My 4-year-old is getting all the attention right now. He does no wrong. Now, he's basically allowing my 4-year-old to think that, oh, if you go and you hit your brother with a bat, it's okay. Oh, if you chuck a car at your brothers, it's okay. I'll yell at your brothers because they're older and they know better. So it's baffling to me that I had my children, my 3 older children, for their entire lives. My eldest is the only one that held on to everything that I have ever taught him. He looks out for his brothers. He sticks up for his brothers. And he stands up to his dad. Without fail. For example, his dad had moved in a girlfriend. Knowing this girl for 6 months, not knowing anything about this girl, not knowing any real reasonings behind what was going on in her life, nothing. Moved this girl and her 2 kids into his home. Now, at first, my eldest was like, Mom, she's okay. After getting into it for maybe a month, I'd say, about a month, my kids are at my parents' house. We're FaceTiming, and my son looks at me and says, Mom, I don't like her. I don't like how she treats my brothers. I don't like how she treats me. Yeah, and she keeps the house clean. She does this, she does that, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But it ended up coming down to the point where she told my ex to get rid of his kids. That they were bad influences on her 2 kids. She had a daughter and a son. Again, I will not release names. I will leave them anonymous. But she basically told him, it's either me and my kids or your kids. My son, dead ass, looked at his dad and said, why the hell didn't you do it? We don't want to be here. We want to be with Mom. Why? Why are you making us stay here? We don't want to be here. We don't want to be with you. Showing every emotion to let him know that they don't want to be there. So I am asking you guys, my GoFundMe link is in my bio. If you guys could help, I would so appreciate it. And so will my boys. They need to get out. It's a very toxic environment. And I hope that you guys can find it within your hearts to help 3 kids get back to their mom.